Welcome to TalkNorth.com. Thanks to our longtime producer, Brandon Morton. Please download before you listen. If you'd like to advertise with us, you can reach us at talknorthpodcast@gmail.com. And please follow us on Twitter at TalkNorthPod. 2 promo codes to be aware of. BiteSquad.com. Use the promo code TalkNorth to get your first delivery free. And go to SodaStick.com, the great local apparel company. Use the promo code YouBetcha to get free shipping on any sized order.
Starsky. Oh, we were partners.
You're listening to Steven Strom on TalkNorth.com.
And a happy Sunday to you and yours here on the TalkNorth.com podcast network. Steven Strom, Strom Sports Show, episode 46 here on the great TalkNorth.com. Shout out my producer, Brandon Morton, Jim Suhan, if you want to advertise with the show. Busy show today. Got a big guest for you. The Vikings third-round pick, Alex Mattison. Couldn't get him on the show personally, but what I could do, this is innovative thinking for a guy that doesn't have a huge podcast, get his coach. So I went on BoiseState.com, looked up his running backs coach, Coach Lee Marks. Coach Lee Marks gladly accepted the invitation. He will come on in just a bit here and talk about the Vikings third-round pick, who is going to step in and pretty much be the backup. I mean, you can pretty much say that with Latavius Murray gone and out to the Saints, with Rock Thomas being in some trouble with the whole marijuana issue. You would expect Alexander to step right in that second backup running back spot and hopefully be pretty effective here. Hopefully, Coach will give us some good insight on our third-round pick. We'll see what his strengths, we'll see what his weaknesses are. I'll ask all those types of questions for Coach, and we'll get that thing rolling in just a bit here. But I wanted to begin with the Minnesota Twins, the best record in the AL Minnesota Twins, as I record this on a Saturday, May 4th. And the Twins have obviously, and I've always said this about baseball, you're never as good as you are when you're hot, and you're never as bad as you are when you're cold. So right now, obviously the Twins are in a groove, okay? They have a 19-11 record. They're first in the AL Central, the best record in the AL, and they are now going to New York. They just dropped their first game on Friday. Jake Odorizzi pitches today at 12:05 my time. But my whole point about this is that the Twins need to get over this mental barrier about beating the Yankees, and let alone just going to Yankee Stadium. Because in order for me to take them serious, and I want to take them serious, I think they have a really well-balanced team this year. Their starting pitching still scares me. Their bullpen is kind of iffy. They're hot and they're not. But the lineup, I think, is a consistent lineup. Rosario obviously is struggling right now, but guys like Nelson Cruz, Marwin Gonzalez, CJ Cron, and you have your young guys in Buxton and Polanco and Garver. So I really do believe in this lineup, but I don't believe in the starting pitching, and I don't believe in the bullpen just yet. And these, first couple of games, and it's great to get off to a good start. When they beat Houston last series, I thought, okay, maybe this team is really different, and I think they are. But until they start to beat the Yankees and get over this mental barrier, because it just seems like every time, especially when they visit the Bronx, they just seem like the little brother. They just seem like they are so intimidated of the bright lights of New York. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter what team it is at this point. I mean, the Yankees are missing 9 starters. They don't have any of their guys they typically have. And the Twins are playing their best baseball I can remember in years. And they come out and they lose 6-3. And you never felt like they were really in the game. Do you want to hear this stat here? And this is the great Lavelle Neal, the beat writer for the Minnesota Twins. So, the Twins' record in the past 15 games in the Bronx, okay? 1-14. The Twins have lost 14 times in their past 15 games in the Bronx. They are 9-30 in the new Yankee Stadium. And here's why I'm telling you, until they start to beat the Yankees, I'm not believing that this team is different. Because for the longest time, forever, the Twins have not been able to beat the Yankees. And what has that resulted in? No playoffs, no deep playoff push, none of that. So until they figure out a way, because I think it's mental at this point. Like, seriously, They have no Stanton, no Judge, no Severino. They have a lot of guys missing. They're playing with a minor league roster. And it just seems like it doesn't matter who the Yankees throw out on the field. The Twins can't seem to get over that hump and beat them. And obviously, in order to get out, and if we are serious about any type of playoffs or postseason run for the Twins, most likely you're going to have to go through the Yankees. And that's just the bottom line. You can either go through the Houston Astros, who are one of the best teams in the league, or you're going to have to go through the Yankees. You've shown you can beat the Houston Astros, but you haven't shown you can beat the Yankees. So that's why I'm still hesitant on this season. I'm obviously excited, very excited the way the season has started. I think that there's times where I say, okay, this team can be very good, but then there's times like this series, and I knew it. As soon as they come to New York, man, it doesn't matter if they're 40-0 in their last 40. They just seem like they struggle so much against the Yankees. Not seems, they do. And I don't know what it is. Because it's different rosters that just continue to hammer the Twins. And it's been happening for way too long. The Twins have to win this series. They have to win Saturday and they have to win Sunday for me to sit and say, okay, I'm going to seriously take the Twins on. Because right now I'm still on the borderline. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Because it still seems like, all right, same old Twins. They can't, because people like them. They're a different team. Okay, that's fine. They've beaten the Astros. If they're a different team, they are going to beat the Yankees at a best out of 2 out of 3. If you're a different team, you beat them 2 out of 3. And if you do that, I'll give you credit. Okay, I'm all in. Chips all in. Let's go. Let's see what happens. But until they do that, I'm not buying in. I'm not, because you have to go through the Yankees. My next question that I'm pondering right now is, where is Miguel Sano? Where is he going to fit in on this team? So he's doing his rehab assignment right now. Went 4 for 4 on Thursday, including a 2-run home run in the Class A Fort Myers League. And where does he fit? Because this was my biggest fear about the hot start of the Twins, is that it showed that they don't necessarily need Miguel Sano. Where does he fit in this lineup? Where does he fit position-wise? Is he going to go on third base and he's going to take Marwin Gonzalez's spot? Is he going to take first base and take C.J. Cron? Is he going to DH? Are we going to sit Nelson Cruz? Where does he fit? He can't play the outfield. You know he's not in good enough shape. And this was the fear that Miguel Sano was going to fade into the light if the Twins kept winning, and they keep winning. And they have the best record in the AL. And they're doing it without him. And it just seems like Miguel Sano can't get on the right track mentally, health-wise, physically. So this is a big question here as he kind of makes his way back towards the Twins. Where's he going to fit? Where's Rocco Baldelli going to implement him into the lineup? Because let's be honest here, do you want to mess with a team that has the best record in the AL right now? Do we want to take out a guy like Nelson Cruz or C.J. Cron or Marwin Gonzalez? You're not going to take out Buxton. You're not going to take out Rosario. You're not going to take out Kepler. He can't play the field, and I wouldn't take any of those 3 guys out right now for him. Sano has a uphill battle this year. He's going to have a big, big, big target on his back. If he doesn't perform, this might be it for him. And I wouldn't blame the Twins organization. Because you're starting to see the progression of Byron Buxton, who is also such a wild card. Because if he's able to just get on base, he will steal first, he will be on second, say that there's no outs, sacrifice fly, score. There is going to be a ton of runs that Byron Buxton is going to score for this team. So if he could just be a decent hitter, you know what he is in the field, even though he dropped a catch yesterday. You know what he is in the field. He is a complete wild card, X factor for this Twins team. Miguel Sano? What is he? Because he hasn't been proven to stay healthy. And he hasn't been proven to stay committed. And this is the team that's moving forward now. Young manager, got their veteran guys, got their youngsters playing well. And it seems like Miguel Sano is on the outside looking in right now. When he comes back, where will he play? That's my biggest question. And if the Twins start losing, What does that mean for his future? I know one guy typically doesn't mean in baseball you're going to lose the game. You can't blame usually one guy. But we'll see if the chemistry flips up when Miguel Sano comes back from Fort Myers. Coach Lee Marks, he is up next, and he will break down Vikings third-round pick, Alexander Mattison. And we're joined by Coach Lee Marks, who is in his 6th season as a member of the Boise State Broncos coaching staff. He is the running backs coach and had the opportunity to coach Vikings third-round pick Alexander Mattison. Mattison led the Mountain West with 1,400 yards last year, first-team All-League honors, 17 touchdowns last year, which ranks 7th nationally. Coach, thank you for giving me the time here, Steven Strom. Let's get into it here. Talk a little bit about coaching Alex. What kind of player, what kind of person are the Vikings getting here?
Well, number one, the Vikings are getting someone that his character is extremely as high as I've ever really been around. Just someone that you can trust, that has positive vibes, extremely smart, really just a great person. And when it really come down to a guy that you would, you'd want your daughter to marry, and just to be honest with you, and just kind of everything that he represents, and his family's done an extremely good job, obviously raising him and getting him to this point, to where he's just really just a young man that's just very driven, and he knows what he wants, and he has goals, and he set deadlines for those goals, and he's worked extremely hard to get to where he is, and now he's going to be a Viking. So that's exciting for him and his family. And
we're very excited to have him as well. Was there a moment or a play throughout his career where you coached him, maybe during a practice, during a game, where you knew that he could play on Sundays one day?
Yes, we were doing one-on-one pass rush with the linebackers, and this is during fall camp. I mean, he's just a true freshman, so as I call him babies, and he jacked the linebacker when he striked him with both hands, and I've never seen this before, where the linebacker pretty much almost fell over the trash can, and that's when I was like, okay, that's different. I haven't seen Jay Ajayi do that before. I've never seen any running back that I've coached or been around do that in a one-on-one. I've seen guys get jacked and drop and those things, but actually kind of get lifted pretty much in the air and go backwards. I was just like, okay, this is, that's a little bit different. And then there was another play where we threw just a little quick pass out there to the flat, almost like a little quick screen, and he caught it. And we're playing against BYU, and they had one of their stud linebackers who's playing in the NFL now, and he caught it. And originally we flipped the two running backs, before, because we had two in there at the time. Mm-hmm. And I tried to flip them because originally we had the other guy out there who we wanted to get the ball to, because Alex was just a true freshman at the time. And then we didn't throw it out there. We handed it off to him, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to flip him. And then next then we throw it out there. So I was like, well, there you go. But when he caught it, and he's running down the sideline, and here comes their stud linebacker, and he freight trains this dude.
Wow.
And you got the whole crowd. I mean, everybody sideline, everyone's just, from there was just lit. And from there, obviously, we went on to win the game. But those two really stick out to me, where I was like, you know what, this dude is different. He really is. So he's very dynamic. He's extremely strong, has great balance. He's a lot stronger than probably even he knows. I always get on him about that. Just, use it to your advantage. And obviously at times it's just instinct, the instinct kind of takes over, and you just see it, and you're just like, this dude's going to be really good.
Now, I know that some coaches don't like to do the comparison game. I had Will Greer's dad on, actually, a couple of months ago, and I asked, compare him to one quarterback in the NFL. What's his style like? And he said, Will's his own player. You can give me that answer, but if you had to, how would you describe or give me a comparison in the NFL to the way he kind of runs?
To the NFL, that's tough. It really is, just because he really is kind of a little bit different. And you guys are getting a player who I really think is just starting to scratch the surface of really how good he could really be. So that's kind of a difficult question at times, to really answer, because he's powerful enough to obviously run between the tackles and create